Okay, people, it's been just about a week since the Yankees lost the World Series. I needed some time to sort of process as a Yankees fan. There is a few very specific reasons that the Yankees lost the World Series, and it wasn't because the Dodgers were unbeatable. The Dodgers, amazing team, and the Yankees did lose 4-1, but it was a little bit closer than it may have seemed, because the Yankees had a chance to win in every single game. But it's also not close at all because the Yankees were fucking horrible. And the first thing we're going to take you to right now is this article from the New York Post that says, what the Dodgers told their players in scouting meetings was the Yankees were talent over fundamentals. That if you run the bases with purpose and aggression, the Yankees will inflict self-harm. You see, that is exactly what happened. The Dodgers played baseball and the Yankees played, I don't know, T-ball? I don't even know what the fuck they were doing. They were doing the worst, most unconscionable things fundamentally in baseball. And a lot of it is going to come down to Aaron fucking Boone. I'm sorry, but Boone's got to go. Boone has to go. He is not a great manager. He's not even a good manager, really. I'm sorry, but Boone has been doing this for years. And this right here is proof of that. Because who is supposed to teach them fundamentals? Who is supposed to teach the Yankees how to play? The problem is that too many people are defending Aaron Boone because he's a player's manager and the players love him and he's nice and whatever the fuck. Listen to me. Joe Girardi is the guy that Boone replaced. I know. We're talking about a lifetime ago. We're talking about 2017. 2018 was Boone's first season. But Girardi won a World Series in 2009. He took the 2017 baby boomers to Game 7 of the ALCS against the cheating Astros. Okay, the Yankees had a chance to move on to the World Series when all their players were literal children. Judge was, I think that was his first year or his second year. Glaber, they had some guys that didn't work out as well, like Andujar and Bird, but this was a team that did not belong in the playoffs. I remember before the season in 2017, the Yankees were not even projected to win the division, to win the wild card, to make it to the playoffs. And instead, they made it to Game 7 of the ALCS. And what does the team do? They fucking fire him and they hire ESPN analyst Aaron Boone. Calling me ESPN analyst Aaron Boone is kind of super insulting. Obviously, Boone has a better mind for the game than, just analysis on ESPN. Fine. Boone is a perfectly acceptable manager in certain situations, but you're never getting over the hump with Boone at the helm. You're just not. It's just not going to happen. It was unbelievable that the Yankees even made it to the ALCS this year. They weren't a great team, but the AL was very weak. The Yankees had no pitching. I said this from the beginning of the year. The Yankees don't have any fucking pitching because they just really didn't have the starters. Their bullpen was, I thought, okay. It turns out their bullpen was way worse than I had predicted before the season started. Pitching wins fucking baseball games. Like, pitching wins playoff games. Pitching wins the World Series. Because the Dodgers pitching was kind of piss poor as well. They really didn't have as many great starters and whatever. But the Dodgers had a bullpen to make up for the lack of starting pitching on their team. The Yankees did not have that. They didn't have it. And the Yankees pitching was better than I expected. Cole was Garrett Cole. You expected Garrett Cole to be really good. But after Cole, what do the Yankees have in terms of starters? Well, Rodon was pretty okay. Rodon was fine. I actually really respected what he did and thought he did an excellent job. Clark Schmidt was pretty solid. I like Clark Schmidt for the future. I think having some playoff experience under his belt is really great for him. That doesn't mean that the Yankees belonged in the World Series. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Yankees fan. I don't think that they really did. And just to kind of follow up on what we were talking about, the fundamentals, right? I want to also point out this quote from an article from Sports Illustrated. Privately, the Dodgers liked the World Series matchup against the Yankees. They knew the Yankees cut corners when it came to the finer points of the game. The Yankees did not defend well. That is a fucking fact. Any real Yankees fan can tell you this team cannot defend. Judge is in center field instead of a real center fielder. I love Aaron Judge. Incredible right fielder. He is too slow, too big, too lumbering, too fucking huge to be playing center field. You need somebody who's fast. You need somebody who's a great defensive player, which Judge is. But Judge is not fast enough to cover ground in center field. The Yankees could have put Jason Dominguez in center field and helped him and worked on his defensive issues in order to have a real center fielder. Take Verdugo out of the fucking lineup, use Verdugo off the bench, which could have done so much, but instead, the Yankees didn't put Dominguez in. They didn't call Dominguez up for a little while when he was coming off injury. Then, when they finally called him up, Boone refused to put him in the fucking lineup. Boone refused to give him any experience playing in the season, doing anything that he needed to do. It's fucking absurd. It's absurd. Why stick with Verdugo, who proved throughout the entire season that he wasn't a great ball player anymore? I don't know. Verdugo is not like the worst player ever. But man, get some reps in for the guy that's supposed to be the fucking future of your ball club. Let him get some reps out there in center field. Teach him how to play fucking defense, man. You're the fucking manager. You got coaches out there. Teach him how to play fucking defense. He can be the center fielder. You don't have to have Judge's slow ass in right field. You don't have to have Juan Soto out in right field. I mean, you don't have to have Judge's slow ass in center field. You don't have to have Juan Soto over in right field. You can literally switch. If everything is switched, the defense suddenly becomes better. Soto in left, Dominguez in center, and Judge in right field. And I know the big thing about Dominguez is that he really was doing piss poorly in center field and this and that, whatever. He's got the speed, he's got the talent, and if he had fucking coaching, he might be good. We won't know until they actually try it. Maybe they should have fucking tried it. Their base running was lackluster. I didn't even finish this quote yet. The base running was lackluster. The Dodgers scouts wrote up reports about a consistent lack of strong primary leads and fundamental secondary leads. It's true. The Yankees were also shit base runners. A lot of them are slow, and most of them lack any type of fucking baseball IQ to run the fucking bases. I'm going to be honest. Limit the Yankees' home runs. The Dodgers knew, and you could out-execute them. It's a fact, man. This entire team was built on only hitting bombs. That's fine. If you have fundamentals in the field in other places, if you have good management, if you have somebody that has a fucking brain cell on that goddamn bench that's leading the team. Let's talk about game one. The Yankees had a chance to steal a fucking game in LA. They were up multiple times in the game. And then in the bottom of the 10th, you had Shohei coming up to the plate. Then you had Mookie Betts, who's a righty. And then you had Freddie fucking Freeman, who is coming up to the plate. And now, let me explain something to you. I don't give a flying fuck how much people want to say Freddie Freeman's hurt, Freddie Freeman's this, Freddie Freeman's that. He's a dangerous fucking hitter. He's been one of the best fucking hitters in baseball for years, okay? Freddie Freeman is an unbelievable baseball player. It doesn't matter that he hadn't hit a home run in 2 months. It doesn't matter any of this shit because he's a veteran presence that was a monster in the World Series in the past. And he's not somebody to just be trifled with. You got to take him seriously. Shohei Ohtani is coming to the plate. And what does Aaron Boone do? Does he go to Tim Hill, a guy that only gave up 2 earned runs since August 14th in the regular season. 2 earned runs, a .9 ERA, 20 innings pitched to end the last month and a half of the regular season. And then in the postseason, up to that point, he had only given up 1 earned run in 5 2/3 innings pitched. Tim Hill was lights out for the Yankees. He was absolutely lights out in the entire playoffs. He was unfucking believable for the past 2.5 months before game 1 of the World Series. The Yankees are up by 1 run. They have the best hitter in baseball, the best player, Shohei Ohtani, at the plate. Shouldn't they bring in somebody as talented, as shut down as Tim Hill was at that time? Oh, no. If you're Aaron Boone, you're bringing in Nestor fucking Cortez, who hadn't pitched since September 18th. The game was on October 25th. Nestor did not pitch 1 single inning in the fucking playoffs. He's coming off an injury. He was quoted, and I don't have the quote up exactly right now, but he was quoted paraphrasing that he doesn't care if his arm falls off or whatever, if he has permanent damage to his arm, he's gonna pitch in the World Series. He's gonna do whatever he can to win the game. Nestor fucking Cortez, Mr. fucking ego, Mr. fucking, oh, I'm so good, blah, blah, blah. I'm fancy and I have all these different pitching stances and I trick batters and I'm really fucking good. This guy is so egotistical. He's the most mediocre fucking pitcher in baseball, bro. And Aaron Boone brings him in the bottom of the 10th in the most critical inning in the history of Aaron Boone's managing career. He brings him in the most critical fucking moment. The first time Boone's teams are in the World Series, the first time Aaron Boone finally led the team to the World Series, it's game 1, and he's going to bring in a guy that hasn't pitched in over a month, that is still clearly hurt, instead of the guy that's been getting reps constantly and having tremendous success during the entire playoffs in the last month and a half of the season. And guess what Nestor does? He gets Shohei to pop out. It was actually impressive. He actually got Shohei to pop out. So let's give Nestor a little credit for that. Okay, Nestor got Shohei. Even Shohei was shocked. And what does Boone do next? He has Nestor intentionally walk Mookie Betts. And I don't have the exact numbers up right now, but Nestor had unbelievable numbers against Mookie Betts in their career. I don't have the numbers here right now, so I'm not going to try and pretend that I know exactly what they were, but I saw the stats at some point and it blew my mind how good Nestor was against one of the greatest players of this generation. But I get it. You want to walk the right-handed batter with your left-handed pitcher so that you can get up to the lefty batter. That's totally fucking fine. I have no problem with that. Walk the bases loaded because you trust in your left-handed pitcher against a lefty bat. The problem is Nestor is not the guy you're supposed to trust, dude. Tim Hill should have been that guy. Tim Hill should have been in position to pitch to Freddie Freeman. And who the fuck knows if this would be a different series. If this series hadn't ended, it wouldn't have ended in game 5. If the Yankees win game 1, who knows what else happens in this entire series. Do the Dodgers still win? I don't know. Probably. Maybe. But it doesn't fucking matter because the Yankees wouldn't have embarrassed themselves on a national fucking stage because of terrible decision making from Aaron Boone. Tim Hill was the choice there, man. Dance with the ones that got you there or whatever the fuck that fucking phrase is. I don't even know what the fucking phrase is. All I know is Tim Hill had basically carried the bullpen for lefties for the Yankees for 2.5 months. And then they brought in Nestor Cortez, whose arm was fucking half dead. Come on, bro. This is just basic common sense. Aaron Boone constantly makes these decisions where he thinks he's smarter than everybody else in the room and he thinks he's tricky, and all those fucking decisions backfire on him. And it's not just during the playoffs. The playoffs really magnified that. But he's been doing this for years during the regular season. He pushes pitchers too far. He doesn't push pitchers enough. He makes these little tiny statistical decisions where he thinks he's being a fucking genius and he knows like the slightest of edge and whatever. That's not real life, man. It's important to know the stats. It's important to know all these numbers. It's important to know these things. But like, just because the numbers say maybe Nestor would have been better in that situation, consider his injury, man. Consider what he's going through. And also consider the fucking mediocre season he had. Tim Hill was great the whole year. Nestor was fucking mediocre at best. And not to mention, Nestor's a fucking starter and not a reliever. He's not used to those high pressure situations. Boom, Nestor grooves a fucking fastball inside to Freddie Freeman, and Freeman hits an absolute fucking nuke, walk-off grand slam. And let me fucking tell you something. I was in Vegas at the time. There was no sound because we were in a fucking casino. But let me tell you, everybody in that fucking place screamed as soon as the bat connected to the ball, because everybody knew that was a fucking grand slam. Just seeing it on TV, no sound. And let me tell you, I was wearing a Yankee shirt. I was in enemy territory, and it was fucking horrible. Okay? The West Coast is all Dodgers fans. So it sucked. Game 2, the Yankees bats were completely silent for a really long time. Then the 9th inning, they start to gather some momentum. Really nice, too little, too late. Can't really blame Boone too much for game 2. I'm going to be honest. I think that he could have made maybe a better decision here and there. But the one thing that he does do with 2 outs in the 9th, bases loaded, they're down by 2 runs. They need a hit. Austin Wells is at the plate, and they bring in Jose Trevino. Jose Trevino was terrible for the past 2 years. He's been absolutely awful at the plate. He is not a good hitter. I like Trevino a lot, but he is not a good hitter. You bring him up in that critical situation with everything going on, the game on the line, and Trevino obviously didn't do much. Statistically, I looked it up. Who's better against lefties? For a long time, I thought Oswaldo Cabrera should have been the pinch hitter instead of Trevino. But I looked up the numbers, and Trevino's slightly better against lefties. They're both really bad against lefties, though. And Austin Wells was also really bad against lefties. I don't think it was the worst decision ever. The Yankees were just kind of in that situation where they didn't have a pinch hitter. And that is kind of on Cashman, but I'm not even going to get into Cashman on this video. This video is already super long. I've mostly said my piece about everything, but I just want to talk about Game 5 one more time. I made an entire video on Game 5 and that 5th inning and how it was the worst inning I've ever seen in 35 years of being a fucking baseball fan. Not just a Yankees fan, a baseball fan. It was the worst fucking inning I've ever seen. I'm not going to go over it again, but again, fundamentals, regular shit. Judge takes his eye off the ball when he goes for the catch. Volpe throws away a ball over to third base. Garrett Cole doesn't cover first fucking base. Anthony Rizzo doesn't charge a ground ball. These are basic things that you learn in Little League. This is shit that the Yankees don't fucking know. This is shit that the Yankees don't fucking do. You're in the World Series, man. Put some fucking effort in. And Aaron Boone should have been drilling these guys with all these things for the entire fucking season, man. This is regular ass bullshit. If this is shit you learn in Little League, this is shit you should know in the majors. Boone should be drilling these fucking guys who are being lazy and who are not practicing their fundamentals and aren't doing the right things by baseball standards. That should be on Boone. And of course, the very last person that was waiting and watching the Dodgers celebrate and watching the Dodgers win was Juan Soto, sitting there on the bench just staring. Soto was the one fucking guy that every time, and Giancarlo too, let me not take credit away from Giancarlo, but every fucking time Soto came to the plate, he stared down the pitcher. He looked at the pitcher like he wanted to single-handedly beat the shit out of that pitcher every fucking time, because he's the only one that had the heart and the fucking the need to win the World Series. When the Yankees went down 2-0, when the Yankees went down 3-0, nobody else looked like they believed that they could make a comeback. Soto looked like the guy that could do it all on his own. At least that's how I felt while I was watching. I obviously I don't know these guys. I didn't talk to them, so I'm being a little hyperbolic. But Soto, that lasting image, this is going to be the lasting image that I have in my fucking head about this World Series. Soto sitting on the bench, staring at the Dodgers celebrating, still with the bat in his hand and the helmet on his head, because he still wanted to go up there. He still wanted to prove that he could beat the Dodgers on his own. And you know what? He's going to leave the fucking Yankees. Everything that's coming out it sounds like Cashman is almost giving up on signing Soto. He's not, but he's got like this, the way that he speaks about it sounds like he's trying to prepare the world for the fact that Soto's not going to re-sign with them. They're going to lose Soto because the Yankees had no fucking heart in this World Series, because they played like dog shit. You're going to lose the most exciting player that the Yankees have seen in fucking years. 26 years old or whatever the fuck. This is a guy that you need to re-sign. It doesn't fucking matter. They're bringing back Boone. They're not changing out Boone. They need to bring back Soto. This can't be a thing. You cannot let Soto go after you traded all those assets for him a year ago. Fuck that. Fuck that. This World Series was so incredibly disappointing. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. I just wanted to talk about this. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, because I got plenty of sports content coming. And thank you so much for watching.